It is tonight a conversation that is not centered on what the impact of the pitch was in Ghana's draw against Niger in the ongoing 2025 African Cup of Nations qualifiers. However, the conversation is centered around the performance of the players. Many have described it as lethargic. Others said that it was ponderous, as what that actually meant. I'll have my gentlemen here tonight to break it down for us to have an understanding of what sort of performance we witnessed from the Black Stars in their first two games in the African Cup of Nations qualifiers. It is the first time in more than a decade that the senior national team has had such a difficult start to life in an African Cup of Nations qualifier. And tonight, we bring you a debut of Guinness Match Day. As I always mention, Guinness is one of the reasons why we bring you Sports Zone every single Monday. So Guinness, tonight we are bringing you a debut of what we call Guinness Match Day here on Sports Zone. This show proudly brought to you by Syntex Tank, a strong, a tough, Kivo 4-in-1 Gary, Soakings are easy, and Guinness, making it possible for us to bring you Sports Zone tonight. I am Muftau Nabila Abdullahi. I'm taking a quick break. When I come back, I'll be introducing my guests who are already seated for the show tonight.
Disgrace. You know what I'm saying, I mean? You know what I'm saying, I mean? Se kumase, she any Thursday will be upon you, my berry bono. She need prepare. Just what they one go. She the oh yeah. Who we are said the best pitch. Pitch. What is pitch? A great disappointment, disgrace. You know what I'm saying, I mean?
Tonight, we are diving into the Black Stars' performance in the opening games of the African Cup of Nations 2025 qualifiers. And joining me is a man who thought going on leave was more of a pension. Leave no be pension. He's back. He's here. Daniel Cranton. Charlie, your audience really miss you. Wow. Charlie, welcome back.
What's the audience? You miss me. Say you miss me and don't put it into an audience. You said leave no repentance like 15 times. Say you miss me and stop there.
Daniel Cranton, I miss you.
That's it.
Welcome back.
Wasn't that hard?
How are you?
I'm good.
Razak Musbao is here. The smiling one.
Chairman, leave no pension. Tell him. Leave no pension, no pension. You know what we're doing it. These people go there out like 25 days.
Crack, you're back.
25.
It was 25, eh?
He was at home for that long?
Oh, right.
It wasn't even 25 days. It shows you've missed me.
Oh, Charlie. No. So
a day without me is like 1,000 years.
The working days were 21. Let's add the weekends.
It wasn't 21.
In all 27 days.
It was 15 days.
15 plus 6, 21, and there were 21 days. Remember, you were home for 21 days. Correct. We calculated the days and we got
good
to
to have him back. Good to have him back anyway.
Welcome back.
Yeah, it was good.
And this thing, hey, when I saw him in the office today, he looked very fresh. I was like, hey.
He'll give you some job right now. He's thinking of what to reply.
No, but on a serious note, Madam really did well for you. Yeah, Madam did. Madam did well for him. That's why he looks
so Madam is watching, so say thank you to Madam. You know.
Yeah. Madam, thank you. Thank you for taking care of our brother for us. You did a good job. We appreciate it. Yeah. He came back very refreshed. And in fact, he was on commentary duty.
Boga,
when I listened
the Black
to that
Stars
boy,
going to mess up. Let's talk about the thing you are talking. The Black Stars are going to mess up. Let's enter the thing and stop.
You know what's happening right now? This is Cranty is laughing. That's my husband.
And then she do, hey,
the boys are going to mess up. We are talking about somebody's wife.
So today it's not a pitch.
Boga, stop talking about my love life. Let's talk about what.
Kivo 4-in-1 Gary, feeling hungry and want something to eat right now? Well, Kivo 4-in-1 Gary Soakings Mix is your hunger friend. If you're hungry right now, just go out there to a nearby provision shop near you. Get Kivo 4-in-1 in Gary, and you'll be good to go. It has crispy Gary. It has crunchy granite. Some people prefer to call it peanut. Then there's also creamy milk and sugar. So all you need is just to add water and you're good to go. No stress, just delicious taste. So enjoy it at the office, boarding house, home, or anywhere you want. It is available in various markets and retail shops nationwide. Kivo 4-in-1 Gary soakings mix. Soakings are easy. This advert is FDA approved, and always Syntex tank. They have always made it possible for us to bring you Sports Zone every single night. So what is your preferred color? Is it blue, as I have it here? Is it black? Is it green? The preferred color that you want, Syntex tank has it. And what is the guarantee that you need? Syntex tank has it too. And what kind of inner layer do you want? Do you want a double, a triple, quadruple, as many layers as you want? Syntex tank has it as well. So Syntex tank, strong, tough. We've got so many distributions nationwide. So to get in touch with us, call 0244 335168. 0244 335168. You can also order by calling that very number. We have about 300 agents nationwide. So if you want to get in touch with any of agents nationwide, just call that number. You can also go online, that is via social media at Syntex Ghana, or shop online at www.syntexgh.com. Syntex tank, strong, tough. And Guinness. Tonight we'll bring you Guinness Match Day. But before we get to Match Day, Dana Cranton, you were on commentary. In fact, the two of you were on commentary position tonight, this afternoon. You watched the Black Stars. Many have described it as lethargic. From where you sit, how did you say it?
What have we done to them? What have we done to them?
To who?
To the Black Stars, the players. What have we done? June, the last international break.
Yes.
They went to Mali, went to win. That was our first win in 2024.
Yes.
Followed it up with a 4-3 win over Central African Republic.
Sure.
That was the first time Ghana had won back-to-back competitive games in over a year.
Yes. In fact, we actually had to go back to Kwesi Appiah in 2019 when he beat South Africa in the Sao Tome and
Yes. So we thought we were progressing.
On ascendancy.
Then at the end of the June international window, when the whole AFCON draw was done, we looked at the group we're in. First two fixtures, at home against Angola and away, because Niger were going to play away from home, neutral ground, Morocco, sweet stadium, nice pitch. On paper, this looked like the perfect possible fixtures to build on from what you did in June. And then they go and do this. Look, Mufti, I don't get it. Like, what have we done to them? Last week, the game against Angola, I believe that genuinely the pitch was an issue.
Was it a contributing factor? It was
a major factor. Major factor. That's what I believe. Otuado came out, criticized the pitch. Even the Angolan coach himself came out and criticized the pitch. When people are telling you, the team, that you are using this thing as an excuse, and you are going to an even better stadium, with better facilities, a better pitch, isn't this an opportunity for you to prove doubters wrong? It's literally the perfect opportunity that you said that you were not able to win against Angola because the pitch was a major issue. You go to Morocco a few days later against the least fancy team in the group. The least fancy team in the group, Niger. It is literally the perfect opportunity for you to shut up your doubters by the performance and hopefully the corresponding result.
And even justify the position of many people that the pitch was the reason why you lost against Angola.
And then you go and play like this. You see, me, it's not really the result that bothers me. It's the performance. It's like we are begging, Boga, if you won't play, go ahead. No, see, look, there are so many talented players, plenty. If Karim comes, you can ask him. We can name another 14, 15 players who are out there, who are waiting and hoping to get called up. So if you are playing against Niger, a slow, poor, lethargic first half, and God dashes you a goal because that goal, they didn't work for it. That goal from Ali Duzebi, that's not a goal you work from training. It just happened. Ali Duzebi, when was the last time you saw him shoot a ball?
But he shoot.
Because there were no options. So pool and the team has entered the pool.
went like that.
No, solid goal. But it's not a goal where, you see, when you analyze the first half, we didn't deserve to go in the lead. But luckily, you go into the break having the lead. And you come out in the second half and you play the way you played. Like no urgency, no commitment, nothing.
No desire.
No desire. It was literally like they were just waiting for 90 minutes to be up so they can go home.
People even claimed they were walking.
No, but we watch the game. Look, I was bored. I was bored doing commentary. It was extremely difficult doing commentary. Viewers, I'm sure you got tired by 74th minute, you can tune off. I couldn't tune off because I was doing a job. Unfortunately for me, I had to sit through the torture of this game. And I don't get it. Like, I don't understand because there were too many things at stake. You've already lost the opening game. You are 3 points behind already. This is literally the whipping boys in the group. You have to get 3 points against. In fact, maximum 6 points against them. Because away in Khartoum, away in Luanda, two extremely difficult games. It's only two teams that are going to qualify. Your direct rivals for the 2 qualification spots have started really well. So now there's pressure on you. Like, you don't win. Don't win. You can go and draw. But show something. Show some urgency. They did nothing like that. And for me, it's so upsetting, the body language of the Black Stars players. So upsetting. I'm usually the one who usually sees like positives and things, but I was so upset today. And the substitute, Otuado today I just didn't understand. Quick one before I leave. The triple substitution in the second half. For me till now, I think maybe till next international window, that's maybe when I'll try and get a small ounce of understanding behind that substitution. But if you take off a natural winger in Fatah Issahaku and replace him with
Braden Asante.
Yeah, Brandon. Then you you take off Iñaki, bring on Jordan. Then you take off Ashimeru,
bring on Elisha.
And bring on Elisha. Now, the thinking behind, and that's what I'm thinking, the thinking behind Elisha was, okay, we are trying to close shop. But if you are trying to close, you see, it is not advisable to close, because this Black Stars team they can't defend set pieces, we know. The height advantage belongs to the Nigerians. So if you are going to stop playing and you are going to invite pressure, the more long balls, the more set pieces, the more you are at risk of conceding. What can you do instead if Ashimeru wasn't doing the job? There were 2 like-for-like replacements on the bench, in Abu Francis and Amankwa. Why don't you bring one of them on and then take the steam out of the game by controlling the possession? Pass it around. If you don't want to score, don't let the Nigerians have possession. Pass it. That's what experienced teams do. Pass it around. You have Partey, you have your Forcing or your Abu. You can take control of that midfield. But when you bring in Elisha, who is not comfortable on the ball, now there's extra pressure on Partey to be able to dictate the tempo of the game, which obviously it was getting beyond his control. Then the Braden and Jordan substitutions. I'm really confused. Jordan, okay, fine. But even Braden, fine. If you are bringing Braden on, why do you send a centre forward to go and play at left wing when there's a natural left winger on the bench in Osman? The space was there, glaring in the entire second half.
For him to run through
Fatah will get the ball. He doesn't seem concerned about exploiting the space. Same on the right-hand side. Semenyo gets the ball. He doesn't seem he's walking. He doesn't seem like he's interested. But there's a natural winger on the bench in Osman. So why will you bring a centre forward and ask him to play on the left wing? And then bring somebody who's played in fact, the last 5 years of his career, Jordan has been playing as a winger. So if anything, why didn't you send Jordan to the wing and let Braden play his natural position? Like, what was the thinking behind that? It's so confusing. They literally just handed momentum straight to the Nigerians, and they were waiting to get the equalizer. Look, Ghana is lucky that we drew this game. Remember the last Ghana is lucky, because if you look at the chances that were created in the game, the scenarios that were created in the game, we are just lucky that Niger lacked quality. It's as simple as that. If this performance was against Angola, we could easily have been looking at a 4 or 5. Like, it was seriously, it was that bad. We were lucky. Niger will create really good scenarios, and then they play a very poor shot, and then just passes by. But a quality player, or somebody of, let's say like a a 65-70% player will be hitting the target and will be testing your goalkeeper. So we are really lucky.
Yeah,
really lucky.
Indeed, if they had quality players, they probably would have hit the ball from afar. Musbah, you're just looking at the highlights on the screen right now. You were there. You watched the game. Daniel has spoken a lot, ranging from the attitude of the boys in their approach to the game to the technical decisions by Otto Addo. From where you sit, what did not work, or should I even say, what did the Nigerians do right that Ghana did not do?
I mean, to be fair, the Nigerians defended very well. They knew that they were playing against a Ghanaian side that they were never going to get hold of the ball for a chunk of the game. They understood that perfectly. And you could see, I think even in the first half, we're just talking about how they organized themselves at the back. Whenever Ghana was holding the ball, you could see about 5 of them at the back because they knew that that is what they can best do. When they get the chance on the counter, because they've seen that Ghana has problem when it comes to defending counterattacks. So they were looking to take advantage of that. So they defended really well throughout the game and offered Ghana very limited chances. No wonder the goal we got from the game was only courtesy, you know, like what Daniel describes. Just
a God's gift.
Because if you look at it closely, Mohamed Kudus picks the ball, dribbles, does a few dribbles, then gives it out wide to Ali Dussedo.
Yeah.
Ali Dussedo was actually was first of all thinking of crossing. Then he says, why not? Let me just do something.
And in fact, Semenyo was actually running into space.
Exactly. He was, because the natural instinct of Ali Dussedo is often not to shoot. That's why we don't see that often from him.
Yeah.
But it was a really beautiful strike because for a moment I thought it took a deflection, but it didn't take any deflection.
Yeah, yes.
It was a swerve shot. It's a really beautiful strike, but it's uncharacteristic of him. And it explains the kind of performance the Black Stars put up today because I can count how many chances we had in the first half and I cannot remember any. The closest we came was in the second half. We talk about Inaki Williams' chance, which, you know, I thought was a corner kick, but was a really fine chance, control it with his head, and the shot and the goalkeeper saving it. Then you talk about the chance that we had at somewhere in the second half where Jordan Ayew came in, just allowed the ball to pass through his legs, and I was thinking that maybe Mohamed Kudus should have done better with that. Maybe just, you know, hesitate a bit from shooting and allowing the defender because the defender had already thrown himself there. That was another chance. There was another chance too that Kudus got that I think the goalkeeper came in early to, stop it. And all of those chances came in the second half because in the second half, somehow the Black Stars felt that they need to be a bit more adventurous because they can't afford to drop points or lose the game. But then Daniel makes a very important point. You look at the first half, the few counter-attacking opportunities that Niger had, I'm telling you, we could have taken like 3 goals. There was one very chance that...
They just needed a bit of quality up front.
I'm telling you, from the left wing, a ball was swung into the penalty area, and all the guy had to do was to volley it. And I was thinking, give this Mabalulu. That's his name, right?
Yeah, Mabalulu,
Give it to him, and you see the net shaking. Telling you, the way the guy kicked the ball, it did not go for a goal kick.
Hang on.
You've not had it.
I mean, hang on. I don't know if on this show I've ever had a serious person.
Look, you know what shocked me?
The net will what?
You see, sometimes you're unable to record the noise the net makes. But I've been close to a net. When,
what noise will it make? Mabululu will hit the ball.
I'm telling you,
and the net would be...
The net will shake. The net will give you some serious, I don't know whether it's zombies or dance or zombie. You know, but what shocked me, and for me, that was a lack the Black Stars got. The guy kicked the ball in the penalty area. He didn't go for a goal kick or shot on target or for Atizigi to do some really... It was actually going up for a throw-in. Went this direction. Then I realized, the Black Stars are lucky because they had about 2 chances like that, all from a counter-attacking position, and they missed to convert it. And that was evident that the Black Stars were lucky. If the Angolans were that good, would have lost this game. They got the equalizer, and for me, the worst of it all was in the dying embers of the game, the posturing of the Black Star players, and how we almost conceded. It was, I think it was a throw-in or something like that. The ball was hit in there.
Yeah.
3 Black Star defenders, 1 Niger player somewhere in the midst of them. And that was similarly, which game was that? There was a game like that, very similar goal we conceded. 1 Nigerian player, I think a center forward or something like that, and he managed to connect his head to it, and he just hit the outside of the post. It would have been the end of the game, would have conceded and lost the game. And for me, that was evident of the posturing of the Black Stars and this crop of players. And if you look at some of the players in there, I look at them, and I'm not trying to remind Ghanaians of how we've assembled some of these players. Some of the players are there. We had to go and beg them to come and play for the Black Stars. All right? We had to go and beg them.
Is one.
We had to beg them to play for the Black Stars. They get the opportunity, and we see the performance, and it's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. One of the things that a lot of people were calling for is that, look, some of the aging players in the Black Stars need to pave way for the young players. You look at this squad, I mean, it's relatively a young squad. This is what Ghanaians have been calling for. You know, thank you for your service, Andre Dede Ayew. Thank you for your service. What do you call it? Even some have started saying to Jordan Ayew, thank you for your service, everybody. And understandably so, because these players, it's time for them to take over. The baton has been handed over to you, and this is the kind of performance you're putting up. And that is why people are questioning the level of commitment these guys have to the Black Stars. Because it does appear that they don't seem to understand what it means to don the Black Star jerseys. Maybe if they never understood it, I'm sure they saw the visuals from the game, you know, post the game against Angola. Post the game against Angola, what the fans did at the Barbara Sports Stadium, though unacceptable, but it highlights the very sentiment the Ghanaian people attach to the Black Stars and what they demand of you. That's why Daniel makes the point that, look, even if you go and draw, let us see some commitment. Let us see some desire in the game. For instance, I watch Fatai Issahaku. I don't want to call out players, but I watch Fatai Issahaku in the entirety of the game, and I cannot point out one take-on he did or one chance he created, to be honest. There was a moment that when Elisha Owusu came on, he gave a pass. I was like, who are you giving the ball to? Like, it's not everybody's playing however they like, or they're just trying to show us that, yeah, they've got skills.
was it the pass Daniel?
Daniel was doing commentary. He said he cannot describe it, and all he can say is, oh. It did not make sense. You know, it's absolutely not make sense. So there is something fundamental about these Black Star players. To be fair to Otoado, I watched the game, and you could get a sense of what he's trying to get the guys to play. The kind of idea he's trying to implement. You could get a sense. You could get glimpses of it. But it does appear that, like we make mention of in terms of his changes, sometimes he makes them late and we ask questions. Even when he makes them, it becomes problematic. The question about Brandon, I was like, why is Brandon playing on the wings? Why on earth is he playing on the wings? Bring him in the middle, you know, center forward. Let Jordan Ayew play from the left wing and try and, you know, he can cause some fouls, drag players into the penalty area. Let him do something, but you're going to put him on the wings, and that's questionable. Absolutely questionable. He doesn't make substitutions early. We ask questions. When we ask questions, he answers them by bringing in, you know, making substitutions and throwing players to certain areas that becomes really questionable. But
Musbao, can we contextualize the commitment angle? So instead of saying the players are not committed, because showing up alone and accepting to play is commitment.
Look.
But can we contextualize it from the angle of hunger, whether they do not feel the hunger to play for their country, or whether when they are on the pitch and the game is ongoing, they feel that, okay, because there was an incident where one of the players appeared to be a bit frustrated by the fact that he was waiting for a pass, the pass didn't come. Instead of chasing, he began to walk on the pitch and all that. Can we look at that and say, these players, they don't understand the hunger aspect of the game instead of saying commitment?
Look, that's why, you know, when I was trying to use fine synonyms for what I was trying to express, I said it's either commitment or desire. So maybe the best word would be desire, because standing up is reflection of the fact that they want to play for Ghana. It's understandable. However, is their posturing on the field that we find it really problematic. Is their posturing. And that's why we talk about the fact that we need to ask questions of their desire, because you were just giving us a record. When was the last time Black Stars had this kind of record, starting an AFCON qualifier?
Yeah,
that has to be at the back of your mind.
More than a decade.
Because the Black Stars are coming back from 2 very abysmal AFCON performances. That has to be at the back of your mind. And you are starting an AFCON qualifying campaign. Watch you. They qualified, went to the tournament, performed poorly, saw the reaction of Ghanaians, and you are starting an AFCON qualifying campaign. Lose against Angola at the Barbara Sports Stadium for the first time in 24 years. And everybody said it was the pitch. Fair, understood. Go back to Morocco, not go back, but go to Morocco, and then you pick a draw. You're winning by 1-0. You don't try to protect the goal. You don't increase the lead. And you go and draw the game. Look, if for anything at all, we should be seeing them apologize on their social media platforms. And if for anything at all, Otuado, look, the second time you are coming to take over the job, even some ask questions whether indeed you should be the person to be leading us, etc. Chris Hughton came to do his bit. We gave it to him. You saw it. You heard it. You've come to take over now. You got first good wins against Central African Republic and against Mali. Gave us real excitement, of course, understandably. That raised our expectations.
And we're told his comeback, that's the tip of the iceberg of his comeback.
Absolutely. Tip of the iceberg. We are getting deeper into the iceberg. And what are we doing? Recording first loss in 24 years. So Otuado needs to sit up. And the players, you see, and we need to have this kind of conversation passionately. Nobody says we should say dispassionate. This is not Chelsea. Chelsea, I don't have stakes in it, but, you know, so we can be very cautious about speaking
your
about
attacks flew the players to Morocco to go and play.
We have to say passionately for the players to understand that Ghana knows nothing but a win. The last 2 AFCON performances of the Black Stars have been abysmal. We have that at the back of our mind. So when you are qualifying for the AFCON, the qualification, I don't have any problem. Reach there, Morocco. Is it happening in December? Understand, right?
Yeah, it's starting on December 21.
Morocco, first game, let us all wait and prove to us that you are ready to do something different. But if qualifying process, this is what you're doing shakara. It's unacceptable. And every Ghanaian out there who's angry is understandable. And gradually it's making people lose love for the Black Stars. And this whole campaign to try and bring back the love, this kind of performance cannot encourage it. So a lot needs to be done. Otuado, you got a very good pitch in Morocco. You failed to deliver. So when you come back, I think the next time we're playing is in October, right?
I've put in a request to interview him. Maybe if the Ghana Football Association...
They're playing in October. World Cup qualifier?
AFCON qualifier. So the next game...
And just to mention, Angola now have 6 points in the group.
Yeah, they won 2-1 against Sudan.
Sudan have got 3 points. Ghana has got 1. Niger have got 1. And you know what we've done? We've given Niger hope and given Sudan hope. And even Angola now, they will feel like, well, it's us and any other person. You know, and we must never be.
And the next outing is against Sudan.
Yeah.
We go away and
we come back home.
In fact, we could finish October with Angola having 12 points because they are in a double header with Niger. One in Morocco, one in Rwanda. Favorites for both games.
Okay. Kylian Mbappe Angel is sending us a message. And this one, I am appealing to her husband to love sports. Kylian Mbappe's angel loves sports, and the husband doesn't like sports. Come on, that's not possible. Kylian Mbappe, you need to give your husband something special so that he'll begin to like sports. Hello, good evening. I've missed the show for almost a month now, and I'm happy to see you all again. My husband doesn't like sports, and I do. He likes to watch news, but today, I didn't allow him to watch his news now. Mondays at 9 p.m. is for Sports Zone in my home. Yes, Kylian Mbappe Angel. Thank you. Oh, Oga, Avec, Mondays, give her the remote. Let her control the remote on Joy Prime.
Charlie, Mustafa, I beg you. When the game started, 21 seconds, Fatah Isahaku to Iñaki. Simple header, like this. I don't understand. Simple header. And the ball to land on his shoulder or something. That was a chance. Simple header.
Even now the thing drop for your mind.
No, because, I'm just playing back the situation. The ball went past the last defender. There was nobody there. If he can't first time header, it's too hard. Down on your chest. Simple finesse. Down on your chest too. The defender, by the time he recovers, you've already taken the shot.
I'll come back to you. Good evening. DK, and DK. Show me your iBoy. Is that iBoy? You have iBoy? Oh, okay, I see. Okay, you've seen it? Okay. Show me your iBoy as this is Sports Zone from Amani Mutala in Asamankesi. And this one, good evening, guys. If the Black Stars must improve up front, creating chances and scoring goals, Kudus must be put to strike or on the right wing. He likes holding onto the ball unnecessarily. They, that is wide men or wide midfielders, are pushing the strikers. Our performance was very poor. Jacob Tia from Tamale. And this one, delay against Niger, when a country like Ghana was 1 goal up from Gala inside Zam City. And then good evening, Sports Zone. It is hard times for Ghanaians to support the Black Stars, at the same time support Hearts of Oak and Manchester United. Hearts of Oak fan to be seated here. I know you're a Hearts of Oak fan. You want to disagree?
Not a Hearts of Oak.
Oh, but the Man U angle is quite an interesting one, though. Because you were not here when Man United collected Woto from Liverpool.
I was nowhere.
You were not here. You were not on the set.
No. Why should I have been here?
So he said that it is hard times to be supporting the Black Stars, Hearts of Oak, and Man U. Hey, Charlie, you know what? You could go hospital. That one, they say, Sabilu said that all the people in the hospital and they have heart issues.
You'll be fine.
It's Man U cause So Black Stars is causing it. So he says that remember to say a prayer for them because they are not in normal times. Greetings to all Chelsea fans in China. China in the Upper East region also. So I'm Castro, Steve from China. And this one, greetings from Kolegona, Accra. I'm Solomon Asante, a football scout. Daniel Sosa, who comes from Bukom, Accra, was the only Nigerian tormenting our defenders, both Daniel Dosa and Abu Kambiaso, which is Najib Yakubu. Najib was part of Ghana's under-17 team that went to Gabon for the under-17 AFCON and were in India for the under-17 FIFA World Cup. In fact, a teammate of Mohamed Kudus during that tournament.
And Danlad Ibrahim.
And Danlad Ibrahim as well. And the likes of, there was one Mohamed Idrisu, Emmanuel Akomensan, Ibrahim
Eric
Osman.
Ayer was your captain.
Yes, Eric Ayer was your captain. Yeah, you've got sharp memory. This was what?
2017.
2017. Wow. About, what, 7 years ago. It was in October 2017. That was when the tournament was played. And he says that both Daniel Dosa and Abu Kambiaso, which is Nigeria, won't even get opportunity to play for the Black Stars if they were still waiting for a Ghana call-up. This sounds very true. And this one, please explain these tactics to me. How is it that always our first half performance is abysmal and some few improvement in second half? Which kind of tactics is that? Assuming you meet a strong contender, you will concede 5-0 in the first half. We're taking a quick break. When we come back, we are bringing you Guinness match day.
A great disappointment, disgrace. You know what I'm saying, I mean? You know what I'm saying, I mean? Se kumase, she any Thursday obi upon you ma be rebono. She ni pra be just what they one go. She dey o ye. Who we are said be say pitch. What is pitch? A great disappointment, disgrace. You know what I'm saying, I mean?
Karim, how are you?
I can't be fine.
You can't be fine.
How will I be fine?
Why? Why are you not fine?
But I will still be positive.
The captain is back and you're not fine.
Daniel Kranti, our thinking is in line. You know, that thing will be correct. But even, do you know that in life, in every situation, there's a positive?
So, which situation do you find yourself right now that we are looking for the positive?
Just think about a situation that there's no positive, and I'll let you know there's a positive.
Daniel Kranti standing in front of you is not positive.
Very positive.
Who told you?
Right now.
Have I told you I'm not positive?
He's the one saying it. Me, I know Daniel Kranti is positive every day.
Hello, everyone. This is Guinness Match Day. Daniel Kranti and Abdul Karim Belli. I'm currently standing by to bring us Guinness Match Day. Gentlemen. That okay?
Muftar, do you know something?
Philosopher.
It's not about philosophy. Do you know there's positive in death?
But who died?
Nobody needs to die, but there's positive in death. If there's,
what is the positive?
Those who fear there's no positive in death, they know they are going to the other side. But me, I am not going there. I am going this way. I am coming to show the people something. You know, this game.
I see Guinness down there.
Wow. I didn't know there was some days.
Wow. I said this is Guinness Match Day.
Yeah, Guinness Match Day.
So what did you expect to be here?
Guinness.
This guy.
See you.
Karim, take over.
But now I beg, give me my fast. Let me. Muftau,
Yes.
I was saying there's positive in everything in life.
Okay.
Even in this shambolic performance, there's positive. We just need to build on it. It's just that when there's more positive, we don't build on it and sort of go for downgrades after all. Look at what we did in the June World Cup qualifiers.
Yeah.
If we had taken up that momentum and built on it, by this time, we should have been giving Niger like 7. At least so. That is minimum, 7.
Minimum.
Yes. But now, we don't even know where we've reached.
But it's not there's positive.
Yes, there's positive.
So let's focus on the positive.
The positive is that if you are looking at how the Black Stars are playing and how Ghanaians want the team to be playing and how we've identified our teams, we said we want to play agro football.
Okay.
Or
Yeah.
if you are looking at how we've performed at the AFCON, all the 3 group stage matches we played there,
Yes.
talking about possession, all the teams there, Cape Verde, Egypt, and then Mozambique. Cape Verde outplayed us in possession about 53% and won again. Against Egypt, the same thing, about 58 around there. And
Really?
Yes, and they beat, we drew 2-2. And the game that we were leading into the 84-something minutes.
89th minute.
89th minute.
Mozambique.
Against Mozambique.
They outplayed at 61%. And,
Wow.
Yes. And this game, it's just Niger. But if you are looking at all those teams, Mozambique, they are not say any higher than Niger. And these teams, when you are looking at them, the kind of players that they are having in them, local players, they sort of have some cohesion in them. And when they are playing, they are so difficult to break down, as we've just seen with Niger's backline. And we've played 61% and 39%. So that is like sort of what has improved since Otto Addo came in. In the now 6, right? In the 6 competitive games he has played, it is only Mali, because Mali, they were rated ahead of us. That is like, at that time we played them, they were like 53 or 53 in the FIFA rankings and were around 60 onwards. They were the only team which outplayed us since Otto Addo took over in terms of possession. But the rest, when you are looking around, there's no positive anywhere. We are playing against Niger, and they are attempting 14 shots. Black Stars. If you are looking at their front three, they're having players from TP Mozambique. Have you ever heard of Chivas or something? A team's name is Chivas. Chivas.
Chivas.
Chivas.
Isn't it MLS?
It's not MLS, it's in Russia. Yeah. Chivas. See, the player is playing in Chivas. 7 years, you are playing at Bournemouth. This season, he's one of the top names when it comes to shots attempted in the Premier League. Only him could have attempted these 6 shots. But the whole team is now attempting 6 shots.
How?
See, they've played, their shots they've attempted 14, and we attempted 6. That is more than 2 times of what we've attempted.
Yes.
Shots on target, 2. We had 3. They also had 3. That's like, this is really a shame to look at. Big chances created. We created 3 and missed all of them. Some way, you don't even understand. Look at this. This is one of the things. I was talking about us having a lot of possession. But if you're having the possession and you don't do anything with it, what is the essence of having possession?
Your brother is standing in front of you.
Yes.
Daniel Grant.
See.
I didn't say it was a positive. He said that the possession is a positive.
Yes.
Your brother said,
So if you're having more of the ball, it's a positive.
Yeah.
But if you are not using it for something that will help you win the game, it's sort of like a downgrade. 402 passes. If you are looking at it, that is more than half of the 402. 202 were in our own half. If you are having the ball and you are playing, you are playing it in your own half, how are you going to score the goal?
You're joking.
I'm serious. Check.
202 passes.
202 of the 402 passes we attempted were all in our own half.
No, so Daniel, tell us, what does this literally mean? As when we were playing the ball in our own house?
We have
Ziggy, Salisu, Ziggy, Salisu, Ziggy, Salisu, Mumim, Ziggy, Salisu.
the same thing. In some way.
So, take that again. Ziggy, Salisu.
Boga.
Mumi, Salisu, Ziggy. Alidu.
Some things are difficult to understand. But anyway, if they are hearing and they are listening, we don't want them to do anything. Just show that even if you lose and you are playing like you are willing and you are showing commitment, nobody will blame you for it. But Charlie, the thing when I reach there some way. Let's move to the next one. Now let's look at the performances of the individual players. I think the first of them will be Mohamed Kudus. If you are building a team, what you have to do is you are looking at building the team around some individual players, because every team you are building, there are some key components in the team that will, if they function well, the team is all function well. Mohamed Kudus, let's look at, I'll first of all come to dribbles. It's something that some people don't rate it a lot. But if you are looking at it, in the Premier League this season, there were only 2 players who have completed 6 dribbles in a single game. And Mohamed Kudus is one of them. Last season, the whole of Europe, he was the player that has completed the most dribbles.
Even 2024 alone, he's the player who has completed most dribbles.
He's the one. And this game, just one of them. Credit to him for providing the assist. But after that, the rest, when he carries the ball and you see him going, it's just like he's running into a river. See it? You said,
Harry, was it a pitch?
Boga, I don't know.
It wasn't Boga.
Hey, chances created.
The guy shock.
Just one, oh.
No, just
number 10.
Just to go back on what you said about the 202 passes being in our
Yes.
You know, Kudus had the second least touches of the outfield players who played 90.
I think apart from Semenyo.
Semenyo had 33,
Yes.
Kudus had 34. So basically, our defenders and goalkeeper touching the ball majority of the time. Our forward players were just
don't get the ball.
Isolated.
One thing.
So indeed, let's come back to the point. Ziggy, Salisu.
That's all the way.
Mumin, Alidu, Ziggy.
So one thing I actually didn't mention is that Niger touched the ball about 14 times inside Ghana's penalty box. And the Black Stars, I think about around 8 or something.
How?
If you are not going into the...
So with 61%
of possession,
you touched the ball 8 times.
8 times. I'm not so sure about it, but it's not more than that. It should be between 8 and 10. And Niger touching the ball 14 times. If Alidu showed us something in that game, it means that the goalkeeper is not so great.
Sure.
Why were they not shooting? Semenyo, as I said, when he's so good with both his feet. And Kumasi, I'll go to him. Don't worry. Let me touch on Partey first. I think.
Even I did it wrong.
Yeah.
The way you say you go to him,
No, we'll get to him.
But in this chaos, we've seen that there's some creditable performances from some of the players. Look at the performances of Partey. 63 passes completed. That is the most in the game. And this is what I am really impressed with. Final third passes. It's not a lot of Premier League games that you go and see Thomas Partey putting 18 balls into the final third. So I think he was decent in the game, but he could have done better, but this is decent from him. Accurate long balls. We were seeing that even as they were trying those short passes, as Daniel was talking about, he was doing okay with trying to, when he picked out, I think he was the one who picked out Iñaki Williams, and the ball went out narrowly. So it's some positive performances for him, but overall he could have done better. So let's move to the next one. Ali Seidu.
The goal scorer.
The goal scorer. Credit to him when you are playing his first goal for Ghana, but forcing him, I don't really think deploying him as left back was the best way he could function in the team. Chris Hughton was, Chris Hughton. The man's name has stuck in my head forever.
Because of the performance we witnessed.
He has tormented us to my dad.
Otuaru.
Even his ghost is still here.
It's still haunting me. See, the thing is that I felt that if Otuaru had deployed a back three, Ali Seidu would have functioned better than him deploying. He did okay as a left back because this season, that is the position his club too is deploying him. 3 games he has played there, 2 of them as a left back. And playing as a left back, the last game he came so short a lot of times. But in this game, he was okay, but still the inefficiencies of playing as a right-sided player as left back shown by in the game. He scored a goal, created a big chance, and also one tackle as a right-sided defender. It's not so great, but let's move to this one. This is where my emphasis is going to be. That is Semenyo. This is really appalling to see you. I beg, can you see this?
I see. Chances created 0.
My
Shots
God.
0. Touch in opposition box 1. Accurate pass crosses 0.
Shots 0. The player that will be among the top 5 players taking shots in the Premier League.
And looking to score, no?
Against Niger.
0.
0.
And he was playing against a Chivas player.
Boga. It's hard though. 0 chances created, 0 shots attempted, touches in the opposition box.
0.
Our number, our winger.
Charlie, I don't believe. I'm going to
Open and read. I beg, open.
Evidence-based. We need evidence here.
Crosses is the winger. Oh. The two. It means that the 2 wingers we have in this game, Semenyo and Fatau. Fatau completed just 1 cross. 1 successful cross.
Yeah, that was within the first 2 minutes of the game.
And Semenyo 0. What was he doing? In Kumasi, even on those crampy, bumpy pitch, he was still able to. I felt that in Kumasi, his ball carrying was really good. Now, you could run on a... Just take it like you saw tartan tracks. Tartan tracks. You couldn't...
Confirmed. No, I can't confirm. Oh, God.
I don't lie, Oboga. So look at this. I did my village.
Karim didn't even add all.
I did my village.
Karim, hang on. What did he not add?
Oh, dispossess 1, offside 2.
I'm charitable. That's why. So look at this example.
Yeah.
I did my village. I am running 100 meters. 9 point something.
But then you say Bolt.
Charlie, then take me to Paris. I go run 11.
Paris where Fentu is running commentary.
Charlie, I go run 11 point something. How can you be running 9 point something at my village and they will take you to Paris on tartan tracks?
And you're running 11. Maybe the sun was helping you speed
Charlie,
up.
in some way. What will you...
Okay. That is Guinness Match Day. Fentu has just joined us. Fentu, welcome to Guinness Match Day.
Thank you, Mukhtar.
How are you?
Thank you very much. You see, the example that Karim is giving, it's entirely possible they will take him to Paris from his village. You go and run you know why?
What do you want? Who invited you? What do you want here?
Do you know why?
Why?
Unless you tell us.
Because he has never seen tartan before. So when he steps on it, problem.
But him no. Where did he come from? He was playing on something that is the same as what he was playing on today. And he felt...
Yes.
Have you not heard this before? That the village people, when they are running good and they put them on the tartan tracks, then suddenly their feet feels different. It feels funny. So they can't run.
They can't, in fact, they can't even run with the spikes.
It's not true. Then if you are talking to Omanyala, talk to him directly.
That is the end for Guinness Match Day, please. That's the end for Guinness Match Day. He just shot us.
It's a Kenyan runner.
But honestly, though, Muftar, honestly, the analysis that Karim and Daniel just did on the game, I think it's a massive indictment on this Black Stars team. And it goes to reaffirm what Daniel said earlier in his at the very beginning in his submission. I think Otto Addo has lost a lot of credit from this game because I have been one of those people that was ready to give him the benefit of the doubt. And what I wanted to see was consistency. And if there's one thing about Otto Addo's teams, the most consistent thing about Otto Addo's teams is their inconsistency. That's the only consistent thing. I want to see evidence that
take that again. The most consistent thing about Otoado's team is their inconsistency.
Inconsistency, yes. Okay. And I'm saying that we all want continuity. We've all preached that we change the Black Stars coaches too frequently. In fact, the Black Stars are the only team on the African continent that since 1982 has gone to every single AFCON with a different coach, except in 2015 and 2017. So for a 40-year period, Ghana has only gone to back-to-back AFCONs with the same coach once. And that was Abraham Grant, 2015, 2017. Every other AFCON, 82, 84, 86, 88, 90, 92, 94, 96, 98, 2000, 2002, 2004, we didn't qualify, 206, 208, 2012, 13, 15, 17. And then come to 19, 21, 23. We've gone to every AFCON with a different coach, except in those two editions in 2015 and 2017. It is unacceptable.
So in that sense, only Abraham Grant has been the technical man who has been privileged to go to two AFCONs with the Black Stars.
Absolutely. In a 40-year period. Can you believe this? And I'm telling you that the problem with that is a result. Because if you look at all the coaches that have won the AFCON recently, Muftau, look at it. How long was Belmadi in charge of Algeria before they won the AFCON? How long was Cissé in charge of Senegal before they won the AFCON? How long was the Morocco coach in charge of the team before they won the AFCON? A certain level of consistency is needed. Granted, there have been outliers. So I am very much in favor of consistency. But the overriding theme in all of those other coaches that have been at the helm for a considerable number of years before getting success is that they've shown signs.
Yeah,
you look at Aliou Cissé, we like to point to his example. But Aliou Cissé just wasn't there for the 8 years while performing abysmally. He was making progress. He was qualifying for AFCONs. He was getting into knockout stages. He was going to every World Cup. 2018, they were there. And then the following World Cup, 2022, they were there. They showed consistency.
Friend, hang on a moment. I need to sign out Guinness Match Day and come back to you. So hold on to those thoughts. Karim, I just wanted to sign out on Guinness Match Day on the numbers that you brought for us here. Fentio has just provided a bit of context to those numbers, but it's quite scary that the national team that is revered by many Ghanaians, and even, in fact, some neutrals, would be producing such, quote-unquote, shambolic numbers.
You see?
Wait, why is it good and not good? It's not a fact. Why do you have to say shambolic? Or it's not shambolic? No, you are doing shambolic like what you are saying is not factual. So I'm asking, do you think it's shambolic or not? Why are you doing like
it's just like saying respectfully shambolic.
Respectfully. So just sign up Guinness Match Day for me then.
The thing is, when you look at some of these things, it's like you don't know what to make of it. When you take on a team like Mali, you are able to win away. And that's, Charlie, it's some way, but
it's spiritual.
Spiritual.
We need to go and see the gods in Bande.
Bande, we don't. We can't deal with this problem. It's ununderstandable.
No, but it's a really...
Did you hear that? He said the gods in Bande cannot deal with the Black Stars problem.
But you see, but the point Karim was just stressing on is really important. He says that he doesn't understand how the Black Stars will go to Mali, come from behind. Mali, filled to capacity.
In fact, before come from behind crowd
and win the game. Then go to Morocco, not in Niger, Morocco, neutral ground, empty, literally empty stadium.
And go and draw.
And Antoine Samignon cannot even play a shot on target.
A shot, not on target.
He's not going to even play in shot.
He even had balloon the ball. It could count as one. He didn't.
So it's difficult. It's really difficult.
It's quite unexplainable. Gentlemen,
No,
thank you very much.
If I were Antoine Semenyo, this is what I would have done. Okay, Michael Essien once told me a story about some Ghana striker. I think I've told Daniel that story. They went to Gabon to play a World Cup 2010 qualifier. And they fielded this striker for the first time. He was making his debut. First 5 minutes, he got the ball center. Essien was there. Muntari is here. Pass the ball. We are building up play. No, he just stood from the center and shot the ball over the bar into the stands. And then Essien asked him, champion, why? Why you pass the ball? Let's go. So, senior, may the pair confidence.
Gentlemen, thank you very much. Next Monday, we will bring you another edition of Guinness Match Day. Karim, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Daniel, thank you.
So you wanted me to model. That's why.
With the pair confidence. With the pair confidence.
But Fent, before I truncated your thoughts, you were on the trajectory of how the senior national team, or should I say the leaders of Ghana football, has not been consistent in terms of our technical heads. And you build up to justify the likes of Aliou Cisse being at the helm of their national teams for a while, and that ultimately culminated in the success, winning the AFCON for the first time when they were in Cameroon about 2 years ago. They have worked to justify more time because the signs were quite clear. People could look at Senegal and go like, okay, this is a team on the right path. He came in, qualified them to the World Cup in 2018, was in the final of the AFCON in 2019. The following year, he won the AFCON, went to the World Cup 2022, made it to a round of 16 and order. He justified that the leadership of the Senegalese FA, Augustin Senghor and co, should give him time to continue. But if you look at our technical team members, over the years, we often have them failing. In fact, if Ghana is not able to qualify for the AFCON, I'm not too sure Ghanaians would actually be happy that Otto Addo should continue as head coach. Right now, I have messages coming through from our viewers saying that Otto Addo should be sacked.
And that's exactly, you just made the point for me, that while we all advocate for continuity, the continuity and the time has to be earned. And at the moment, Otto Addo is not doing enough to justify that continuity is deserved. And for me, I think the only thing that is important is to show a certain level of consistency. And Musbao is right. You cannot beat Mali away and then come and lose to Niger in Morocco, or go and draw against Niger in Morocco, lose at home against Angola. It cannot be happening. While we accept that maybe the team is going through a certain transition, we also have to accept that this is a quality enough team. It is not possible that Sudan would meet Niger and beat them. Which players in the Sudan national team do you know? In today's starting lineup for the Black Stars, they had 5 players who are starters at English Premier League teams. How are they not good enough to beat Sudan? We have Otto Addo, since he's been back, he's played 6 matches. This team has conceded 10 goals. In his first stint, in 12 games, they conceded 15. Why is he not fixing the defensive issues in this team? They have been glaring. The team has a very big habit of conceding very late goals. In the game against Nigeria scored an 84th minute goal. Then we played Uganda. Or it was Uganda before Nigeria. Then Uganda, they conceded an 82nd minute goal. When we played against Central African Republic, we conceded a 93rd minute goal. Against Angola, we conceded a 93rd minute goal. Today, against Niger, we conceded an 84th minute goal. How is that possible? How does that keep happening?
Lack of concentration in the final minutes of the game, isn't it possible?
Or maybe structural changes that he makes late in the game. That tends to affect the result because it's a pattern. It's clearly established, and yet he's not fixing the problem. That's his job. Then you look at the other people he has supporting him. Why aren't other people seeing this? So for me, I think there is no justification whatsoever. There's no excuse whatsoever for today's result. Absolutely no excuse. The coaching was bad. The performance, the application, the commitment levels from the players itself was bad. Granted, we have so many other issues in our football. And we've all explained that a lot of the issues stem from maybe our youth football. We haven't had a proper transition of any youth players to the national team in a long time. The same thing can be said about our local league. There's no contribution of our league to our national teams. So all of that goes to affect commitment at a certain level. And this is how it works. Because the players that are playing at the national team now, what sense of duty do they have to the national cause? Because the sense of duty is inculcated at youth level.
Yeah.
Because then they owe the country a certain allegiance, because the country contributed in a certain way, to a certain extent, to their careers. But the current squad of players that we have, how many of them can you genuinely say the country contributed to their careers?
And this is quite an interesting point you are making, Fent. Go back to New Zealand 99. Then we can talk about Argentina 2001. Then we go to the 2009 Under-20 World Cup, which was staged in Africa, Egypt. You realize that a core of the national team that brought out a certain level of success had gone through our youth ranks. Michael Essien and co. And Suleiman and co. Yes.
And not just going through the youth ranks. Our youth ranks actually give them the platforms to launch their careers. Now, with the current players, how many of them can you say the national team is the reason they are where they are? In today's lineup, the same as the lineup in previous game, only 2 players have played for the youth teams. And even those 2 players are academy products who would have done well either way, even without the national team. And I'm talking Kudus Mohammed and Atizigi Finito. All of the other players that played, none of them played for any of our youth national teams. So the country, in a way, did not contribute anything to these players' careers. So I ask you the question, where will their loyalty lie first?
And then
Fatah Issahaku to the national team?
Fatah Issahaku as well was part of the setup.
Fatah Issahaku played for the Black Stars. Okay, played for the Under-20. Yes, at the Under-20 AFCON. They won the AFCON.
Yeah.
So there is him, there is Kudus, and then there's Atizigi. That is 3 out of 11. It's unacceptable. In the past, you would have had maybe 3 players who have not represented Ghana at youth level in the national team. Every other member of the team would have played for the national team at a certain level. So they owe the country a certain level of duty, a certain level of commitment, a certain level of loyalty. At the moment, with the current squad we have, listen, and I don't doubt their motivation that when they play for the national team, they want to win. No professional footballer goes out there, wears a national team jersey, and wants to lose. But there is a certain consciousness that they move with. And in that consciousness, their commitment, first and foremost, is to their careers before anything else. So when it's time to put that crucial leg in, that crucial tackle in, that could potentially be dangerous to their careers or be debilitating to any of their careers, they're not going to do it. So those issues exist. However, having said that, we still have a good enough quality in this team to be beating teams like Niger away from home and Angola at home. And I'll tell you what, when the fixture list came out, there were only 2 fixtures that you could put your finger on and say, these are 2 matches that Ghana would get 3 points from. And that is the Niger game away and our home game. Because there's nobody out there, not you, not me, not Daniel, who was confident that Ghana would go and beat Sudan in Sudan, or Ghana would go and beat Angola in Angola. So now we didn't win against Niger. We didn't win at home. We're not beating Sudan away or beating Angola away. So we are in a very precarious situation.
We never thought we could beat Mali, but we've beaten them. I just wanted, due to time, I just wanted to wrap up the conversation.
Well, the thing is, we have history of beating Mali. We don't have history of beating Sudan in Sudan.
I recall prior to the 2010 AFCON, when we went there to Bamako, Matthew Amwa and then Kojo Asamoah scored. I think that was Kojo Asamoah.
That's what I said. I said we have history of beating Mali.
So
We don't
what
have
next?
the same history at beating Angola away in Angola.
So how do Ghana get their AFCON 2025 qualification back on track?
Win the remaining 4 matches. They made the job difficult for themselves, but they have to deliver. If there's anything I can point to, I can say, well, at least, if for nothing at all, Otto has shown that he can get the difficult results like he did against Mali when no one expects it. We don't expect him to get the results against Sudan, but he should get it. That's the only way, because if Otto Addo doesn't qualify this team for the AFCON, he has to go. It's the least. Because while you're
I'm not too sure he'll be going,
there are
though.
certain guarantees that have to be made in order for us to see that you're on the right path. Not making the AFCON simply means he's not on the right path.
Okay. Let me come back to the studio, to Daniel Cranton and Razak Muspao. But before I do that, good evening, seniors. It is a show or program you have to tell us. If not, I'll play with you. He said this is disgusting. GFA is our problem. All the time we're playing with the GFA. This country is under curse in everything. I'm Franklin Yaufoli with my wife, Emilia Ife Foley, watching live from Konongo. Bless you all. Thank you. The whole family is watching. We appreciate. And this one also says that, Danny, please, take it easy. Don't stress yourself. Danny K, take it easy. Don't stress yourself.
You didn't mention the person's name.
Yeah, he didn't add his name.
Oh, why? Why send the message?
Please send a message. You want to. Daniel Cranton wants to know you.
But don't worry, I'm not stressed out.
Good evening, guys. Daniel, please, the chance Iñaki had in the early embers of the game, he was in an offside position. Had he scored, it would have been offside. And please, where is you wanted to hear what you have said about this shambolic performance?
He didn't need to score before they say offside.
This one is from Black, inside Efie Kuma. Please sack Otto Addo now. He has no experience. And those are good evening to you and your crew. Sir Makito from Sefi Apurutu. I don't know if I got the pronunciation right. Forgive me if I didn't. He said the Ghana Black Stars players are not serious at all. Ghana Black Stars. Good evening. I am Adams, watching you live from Oyibi. In fact, in my candid opinion, tomorrow should be National Morning of Ghana Football so that it can serve as a wake-up call to our leaders, this national disaster. Gentlemen, I asked Fentu a question. How do we get Ghana's qualification back to 2025 on track? Let me start with Daniel. How do we get it back on track?
How do we get back on track? It's not beat Sudan home and away. But in doing that, you have to go and back Apia.
So what must be done? What must be done to secure those victories? I bet you're wrong.
Attitude. No, I think it's about the attitude.
Attitude.
Because
I like that word.
Genuinely, I think we have the players. We have the players. I'm a fan of Otto Addo. He disappointed me today, but I'm a fan of Otto Addo. And I feel he can get the job. He can make amends against Sudan. But look, Sudan will be difficult, especially because of Kwesi Appiah. So you have to pray that Kwesi Appiah and his side have a bad day. Because to be frank, this Black Stars team is not 1 + 1 is 2. It's not what you see on paper. You can never really tell the
which
team
Black
that
Stars
is going
team
to
that will
show
show
on
up.
the day. So whichever team shows up on the day, to be frank, I think based on recent events, we also need to pray that Sudan are not on their day.
Ms. Bao.
I think it's the same. It's all about attitude. You know, there was a video I saw of Otto Addo after the game against Angola Libera Sports Stadium. After he went to have the post-game presser, he came to sit at the VIP area with Henry Asante-Chum. And I think he got to see the distraction that was taking place on the field. And the video, you could tell he was a very, very worried man. And the distraction that was taking place on the field, he seemed to have gotten the message. The Ghanaians were not happy. When he came, when he was reappointed, so many people had their own questions about whether indeed he should be returning, etc. Of course, he started with 2 friendlies. He didn't get result. People accepted that they're friendlies, so no problem. They were just trying to steady the team. He got 2 competitive games. He produced the results against Mali, against Central African Republic, World Cup qualifiers, critical. He got the result. Against Angola, nobody. Do you know Otto Addo actually said he was surprised.
He never thought Ghana would lose.
He never thought Ghana would lose against Angola. Nobody thought Ghana would lose against Angola because that game, even some people had tuned off because they thought it would end goalless. Then against Niger, we pulled this draw. Against Sudan, he knows what he's going against because Sudan were hoping they can get at least a draw against Angola, but they ended up losing the game. They've gotten their most important 3 points at home against Niger. And as far as Sudan is concerned, they want to consolidate that very strength they've got at home to get the result at home. And Kwesi Appiah, this Kwesi Appiah knows this Black Stars.
He's also been in and out of the Black Stars
He
twice,
knows this Black Stars. And Otuado absolutely understands the man he's going to face. We might sit here because we have questions about Kwesi Appiah and how he managed the Black Stars. And because of that, underestimate his ability, his tactical ability to study these Black Stars and map a strategy to contain them. He knows these Black Stars, and he knows what he can do to, hurt these Black Stars at home in Khartoum. He knows what he can do. He's seen the game against Angola, he's seen the game against Niger. And Otuado, knowing this, needs to speak to the players. Absolutely needs to speak to the players. He needs to get the players to understand in their mind, to understand what is at stake. Because in October, what Ghanaians are waiting for is a response. And I dare say is a response not to the performance against Niger, but to the performance against Angola, the loss against Angola. Ghanaians are waiting for that response. In fact, dating back all the way to the AFCON, when we exited poorly, Ghanaians are still waiting for a response. The matches in July gave us a glimpse of the response we were looking forward to, but Ghanaians were not particularly happy. We are still waiting for a response. All right? The game against Sudan, what better way for you to respond by defeating Sudan, who are coached by Kwesi Appiah, proving to Kwesi Appiah that...
So who should be more motivated? Kwesi Appiah should be motivated that Ghana...
You see, Kwesi Appiah has nothing to lose.
Beat you,
look, Sudan...
Or Black Stars should not be motivated
Kwesi Appiah has nothing to lose. Sudan at the moment, they're not even playing professional league because the country is in a state of war.
Well, yeah.
Football is their only source of respite. It's the only day in Sudan when the rebels and the government military forces put there their guns, and say, let's all watch football. And after 90 minutes, they are back on the battlefield. Because it's war zone in Sudan today. It's real war zone. And today, some of the Sudanese clubs are playing in other countries, stuff like football. So,
in fact,
Kwesi Appiah is not even getting players.
Based in Saudi.
Yeah, he's not even getting players from the local league. So he just managed to assemble players, and so that he can get some of them to be competitive for his national side. You call Kotoko, shall I get some player? If you look sharp, go there Kotoko. This one go there here. You understand? So Sudan has nothing to lose. For them, they know that going to the AFCON is like is a miracle.
Yeah.
Because they don't know how it could happen that for a country that is war-torn can make it to the AFCON. So in October, the Black Stars need to respond.
That was on October 7, right?
Yeah.
October 7 and October 13.
Go to Khartoum.
Dates have not been.
It's 7 and 13.
Okay.
It's 7 and 13.
Man, we go to Khartoum, we must get the result. We must defeat Sudan, show them that, look, Ghana is back. We must come to Barbara Sports Stadium and make amends. Pacify the Barbara Sports Stadium and ensure that we get the victory. 6 points in October is a must. Anything other than that, then we have 2 games remaining. Away to what? Angola, and at home to Niger. And Angola, you go and draw, in Niger, you go and lose, and Niger, you come and draw. We are out. And have you ever heard, since me, I was born and started following the Black Stars, and the Black Star players need to keep this at the back of their mind. I have never heard the Black Stars fail to qualify for an AFCON. All I've heard is that they played semi-final. Somebody missed a penalty. They couldn't win the trophy. The only question we've been asking is when will the Black Stars win an AFCON title? We've never questioned the Black Stars' ability to qualify for the AFCON. And
the last
2 games.
They failed to qualify was 2004. Yeah.
And 2 games into the qualifiers, we are wondering.
2004.
We are wondering, can the Black Stars qualify? Otuado, tell the boys.
Can they qualify? No, we need to qualify. But I need us to wrap the conversation. There was one moment I need to touch on. Your very good friend, Cristiano Ronaldo, that he should make up.
We are asking the thing like you are surprised.
At 39, the guy is still a monster. In fact, about 900 career goals.
And he scored in what competition? The UEFA Nations League.
UEFA Nations League.
Yes. The people
and in fact, even against Scotland recently...
901.
It's 901.
901.
We are limiting it. It's 901 international goals recognized by FIFA. The highest goal scorer in FIFA history. The rest of them who were taking their under 20, under 19, under 6 goals. Those ones are not part. This is FIFA recognized goals. 901. When tell the people who are during the Euros, those who were telling him to retire, Because for the first time in 11 consecutive major competitions, he didn't score a goal, so he should retire. How can you draw a conclusion like that?
No, but hang on. When you say FIFA goals, no, who initiated with that one?
No, but it's true. Isn't it Romario who went to tell us that he has scored 1,000 goals? He was speaking when he was in class 3, the goals he was scoring, he has added all to it. Romario has, they said, Pele, we also were told, they said, growing up, they said Pele scored over 1,000. According to FIFA records, the governing body, he hasn't reached 1,000. Nobody has reached 1,000. But that, the 99 left is coming.
But actually, since Ronaldo turned 30,
he has scored more goals post 30 than before he was 30.
How did that happen?
Benjamin, but the older he gets,
the better
he becomes. So again, for the people who are saying he should go and retire because he scored in 11 consecutive competitions. Then in one competition, he doesn't score, so he should retire. How can you draw a conclusion like that? The person who was their leading scorer before the competition and post their competition, he should retire because the competition he didn't score, so he should retire. He's holding them back. How can you draw a conclusion like that? How?
Musba, how did you draw that conclusion?
I mean, I didn't draw that conclusion.
Why is she a disclaimer?
No, I didn't draw that conclusion. I think, yes, to some extent, he will retire. And when he's ready to retire, and he's made it that, look, when he's ready to retire, he will make it known. At the moment, as long as his career continues to blossom in Saudi Arabia, he will continue to play for Portugal. And what is even fortunate for him is that he's got a coach who is always ready to welcome him, all right? And whenever he gets to play, he proves why he deserves to, be in the team. He scored the goals. And that's what is expected of him currently in the Portuguese lineup, all right? But what he's done, what Ronaldo has done, cannot be underestimated. It's absolutely incredible. And I cannot see any play. And that's what we really need to, draw people's attention to. That I cannot point to any player within this generation who can match up to what Ronaldo has done. Like, is there any player within this generation, up-and-coming players, who you can point to and say that this player is capable of reaching the level that Ronaldo has got to? No player. And if you can't draw that conclusion, that is when you begin to appreciate what this guy has done. And look, he's made a lot of people to fall in love with football. And the day he decides to retire, I'm sure we will hold a special service here. Ronaldo ceremonial service. I'm sure Ronaldo. Special ceremonial service just to, honor him for what he's done to football. All right. While touching on Ronaldo, I'm sure we are leaving here, but we cannot leave without talking about what happened over the weekend in the Ghana Premier League. The GFA is watching. I saw
last week, many of my viewers warned me for talking about Ghana Premier League. It appears they are tired.
See, if the GFA is watching, all right, I want to take a cue. I don't know if they've seen Muftar's post on Facebook. Look, the principles of marketing are very simple, all right? If the product is bad, you don't project it.
You don't promote it.
You don't show it on people's faces.
And I think my professor might have read it.
Right?
He'll be proud of me. Professor
If your product is bad, you hide it. You see the way I'm talking undertone? That's how it is. You hide it so that people don't see it. If you have a very stubborn kid, when people come to the house, when the elders come to the house, they ask you, oh, do you have any son here? Oh, no, all of them are asking. You don't go say, hey, then you bring him, then you scatter everybody. And no, you don't do that.
All of them are asking.
Yeah, Obiada. You don't go and be showing off, right? What we saw over the weekend, I'm sure
in terms of the coverage of the
Ghana Premier League is appalling. This cannot be the standard. Over the last decade or so, we've seen the standard as far as the coverage. It was terrible. Absolutely terrible. I'm telling you. And it was so terrible. And what was exciting about it was that it was free to air. However, the free to air shouldn't have even existed at all because it was really bad.
Did you see the pitch? Did you see the ball?
It was bad. Really
there was
really
no
bad,
replay.
Right?
There was absolutely nothing. And in
it was really bad.
Okay, so
and they need to work on it. Like seriously, look. I don't know. Of course, I'm afraid that she made the point on Kesben. I saw the quote. It says Start Time is owing them in excess of $1 million, and they're yet to pay. And so because of that, that relationship is completely over. But the Ghana
but the point is that the deal actually expired.
Yeah,
right?
the deal has expired.
If the deal expired,
and they are owing them, and they haven't paid. But it is critically important the Ghana Football Association finds a way to get coverage of the Ghana Premier League better, because you can't afford to do this. This is not entertainment. The essence of football is to provide entertainment. And all those who watch the games on the various free-to-air channels, I don't know anybody who can point to the fact that they were entertained by what they saw. Zero entertainment. If it was comedy, I don't want to mention some comedians in it, but it was not funny at all. So something needs to be done. We know the GFA is in a very critical situation now, but it's important. Even the state broadcaster, you need to sit down, GTV, and find a way to get them to take over this and do it, because this is your topmost product when it comes to Ghana football. And if you can't get it right, we have a big mess.
So, Musba, I want to go to Fen to just wrap up for me in within 30 seconds.
If the program is good, you should hide it. Now you're telling somebody to take his TV.
So one of the basics, there are two things: strategic management and.
You can go to Fen too, or he's off.
Yes. Okay, he's on. Fen, I was going back to the lecture hall, but let me come to you. Fen, in what? Let me say in 30 seconds. Hey, I was going to a marketing class. You know, I'm a marketing student, right?
You are wasting your time. Talk to
So, Fed, touch on the Ghana Premier League for me. What we all saw is quite bad.
Yeah, it's awful. And I think the GFA needs to find a solution ASAP. The current arrangement they have is not the way to do it. The Premier League footage, they have no replay. The images are terrible. We don't see lineups. There's absolutely nothing professional about this. And this is supposed to be a professional league. Go back to Star Times, and even if you have to pay them money for the production, for you to then distribute to these television station partners, do it. Because clearly, these current ones don't have the capacity to produce quality images.
Okay.
That is how it has to be done.
Okay.
Even if you have to pay Star Times for the production, do it.
Okay, thank you. Show brought to you by Syntex Tank, a strong, a tough. Kivo 4-in-1 Gary makes Gary Sonkisaya easy, and Guinness. They have made it possible for us to bring you Sports Zone. I am Muftar Nabila Abline. I've been doing this with Daniel Cranthing, Razak Musbao, and Fentiu Tahiru. Pamela, Benaya, Dodu, Emma, all the gentlemen who have made it possible for us to bring you show tonight. Thank you very much for being a part of the program.